No. Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the call-in on this early Friday morning. At least if you're like me, it's really freaking early. But anyway, I'd like you to gaze over this direction for your host, Dylan Rhodey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the call-in. Thank you very much, Natalie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm a little more used to 10 o'clock in the morning.
I'm scared to look outside because I heard it's cold and there's a blizzard warning.
Yeah. For everyone listening, if you're in Omaha, you're probably aware, especially if you've gone outside. It's not too bad yet, but it will keep snowing through the day. I already drove in it. It's like less than an inch of snow, but the roads are pretty awful. So it's real windy out. So there's some drifts and all that shit. So if you're at home, just pour yourself some soup and some coffee and enjoy this call-in show. This is our morning talk show every Friday here at the Backline. If you're watching this, feel free to chat along with us, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or whatever. I'd love to communicate with you. You can also possibly hop in. So if you want to call in yourself, just go ahead and let us know that you would like to, and Natalie will try to set that up at some point in this show. So again, we've got a blizzard out there. We're also doing a show here tonight, but it's close to the public, so it doesn't matter to you. But you can tune in tonight. Same thing, you're watching this right here. We have a weekly improv competition called The Arena. Make sure to check that out. I know we're all more than sick of politics, but I also just want to say how much it sucks that as we're about to get a new president with the impeachment, we're still going to have to talk about Donald Trump for like the next month or two, and it's some of the biggest bullshit. I wish we could just finally be done, but it's great seeing him lose everything right at the end. Are you excited? Because if you are, go ahead and shout your excitement that it is finally almost over. I have to imagine if you're watching this show, you're probably not a huge supporter of him, but I could be wrong. Okay. And then we have some really great guests. Folks that are here in Omaha, folks that are in New York City and Portland, someone who used to live in LA and now lives here. You're really going to love them. And I want to go ahead and get straight to our first caller. So, Natalie, can we go ahead and get our first caller set up?
Indeed. So our first caller is Timmy Tamasia, improviser, writer, director, recent transplant from LA all the way over here to Omaha. They've written for Amazon, Conan, Arcade Cloud. They tour internationally on Mission Improvable, and they're faculty member at the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in Los Angeles. Timmy, get on up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on up. I'm gonna totally get on up. How's it going?
Great. How you doing, Timmy?
I'm good. I'm freezing. My family has relegated me to the basement where there's no heat, so this is where I live all day. I mean, it looks like a library, but I pull this aside and there's my basement. So, yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for doing it. Hopefully that green screen blocks some of the cold wind from hitting you in the basement. I don't know.
No, I mean, I just moved here, back here and grew up here, but I moved here back from LA in October. And like when I moved to LA, I was like, why does everybody think it's cold? And now I am a real wimp.
I still am. I've been here in like 3 weeks. I'll be here for 10 years. It'll be my 10-year anniversary back in Omaha from LA. And I'm still not used to it. I wear my long johns, you know.
and you grew up here, so like you think you would be like, it'd be like muscle memory.
You think?
Yeah.
Once you lose it, it's tough to get back.
Man, great. I have a lot. Thanks for giving me more to look forward to.
It gets worse in February. Remember that.
Oh, don't tell me. All right. I'll deal with it. I got all these books to read, so you know.
Yeah. No. So when did you move to LA?
So I moved to LA in 2012, and I was living in Chicago before that. So I lived there for 11 years. And then
Okay.
before that, I lived in New York for 2 years.
So when did you start your journey into improv or sketch or both?
So, I mean, I studied to be like a classically trained actor. Like I wanted to be a Shakespearean actor. So I was doing like Shakespeare all over the country. And then when I moved to Chicago, there were a lot of friends who said, go do improv, man. Just go do improv. And I was really hesitant. And then I took a class and I was like, all right, I'm done. I don't want to do any more Shakespeare. I'm going to keep doing this. Right. So I did that, and I got my master's degree in film. But I kept doing improv, and house company at Second City, and been teaching for a long time. And I'm sure as many of your viewers can attest to who do it, it is a drug. The minute you do it, you want more. So.
Absolutely. I saw the first show I ever saw was an ASCAT at Upright Citizens Brigade, and I was like, this is what I've been wanting to do my whole life.
Right? Yeah. And I'm so happy you opened the backline, just because I remember as a kid, there wasn't much to do in Omaha in terms of like, broadening your horizons in terms of comedy. So unless, you wanted to go do like an open mic at the Funny Bone and you were 18. So.
And they don't even do open mics anymore. So
they don't? Well,
no.
See, God, this place has changed.
Okay, so one great thing. This is the first time I've talked to Timmy basically today. So everyone who's watching. However, it was great when you moved here. I had two completely different people try to connect us. They're like, Dylan, Timmy's moving out there. And I'm like, oh, great, excellent. And then like 2 weeks later, someone's like, dude, Timmy's moving out there. You gotta meet up with it.
I'm glad someone's looking out for me, because like we talked before the show, moving during a pandemic is the worst. Because while I'm from here, I haven't lived here in 26 years, so I don't know. The whole atmosphere, the whole landscape has changed. So I was real happy that people put me in touch with you. And there's like, every time I dig a little deeper, there's always something new. So it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really great that, especially in the improv community, a lot of people really like want to look out for each other. So when people move, they're always like, hey, yeah, this person's great. Or, hopefully if they say nothing other, that's also good news to know.
I mean, I hate to say this, and sorry, but it's the exact opposite of like the stand-up community. So
yeah,
fuck you, man. Don't try and get on my turf.
We do stand up here, so I'm not going to completely diss on stand up, but I do agree there's a very different mentality.
I just made like 1 million enemies just now.
Yeah. There's already plenty between improv and stand up. It happens. But we also have a lot of people who do both. Which is great. I tried stand up. I'm not that good at it. I give it a shot.
I did it once. And all I did was tell the story about how when I was growing up in Omaha, like I was a huge Looney Tunes fan, like really like kind of gross. Like I look back at myself and like, you're weird. Like I had ties. When the Warner Brothers studio store opened at the Westroads Mall, like I was the first in line to apply for a job. And my mom and my dad for Christmas when I was like, I think like 12, got me this Bugs Bunny bomber jacket. I thought it was so cool. It was like an extra large. I just was swimming in it as a scrawny kid. And I only wore it once because my friends' moms dropped us off at Westroads and we were walking into the mall and these high school kids drove by in a pickup truck. And I'm going to say a word that's not kosher, so I'm giving everybody warning. But this guy rolls down his window and yells, "Hey, nice coat, faggot." And I was like, I took off the coat and I put it in my arms and I never wore it again. I still have it too. It's upstairs.
And you were still a kid at the time, right?
I was like 12 years old. I was like, why? I can't tell you how many people yell that at me too. I'm like, why do people yell that to me? I got that in LA once too.
I'm
Like, it's not
I
a
had
cool word, man.
I had one of those ones where Bugs Bunny, where like he's trying to remember when they tried to make him look tough, and he like
Oh,
had his arms
yeah.
crossed.
With like a leather jacket, like he should have like a pack of Marlboros, like right here, you know, like, yeah, I'm not your grandma's Bugs Bunny.
Pretty much the revival after Space Jam.
Yeah. Oh, Space Jam. Oh, what a classic. We're making a second one.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it's gonna be good though.
But that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
That'll draw me in.
So, do you have anything that you have coming up? I don't know if you're still doing any, like, if you've been doing any online shows, or have you been?
So my home theater was the West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica, which is shuttered. I mean, it's closed its doors. It hasn't shut down. But so the only shows that I'm doing right now are with Mission Improbable. We're doing college tours. So we tour to colleges online virtually right now. I'm the tour manager for that. So those are kind of closed to the public. Can't really advertise those. So I'm just doing a lot of writing. So it's pilot season. Got my pilots out. Hopefully, cross my fingers. One of them is called Omaha. And I'm writing a children's book all about farts.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Great topic.
yeah, with a illustrator from Minneapolis who I knew from Los Angeles. So
Is it called Everybody Farts?
no, it's called right now. The working title is What Was That? Which is it's based off my son. So I have two kids. I have a 6-year-old and an 18-month-old. And my dad used to do this with me, but every time he farts or I fart, I'm like, what was that? And we both say something that it wasn't. And so that's the whole book. The father and son farting and saying something that it isn't. And then that thing appears. So,
if you are, whether you're in Omaha or anywhere else, Timmy will be, hopefully we're going to be setting this up, but he'll be teaching an online sketch class for the Backline here pretty soon. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
We're going to be trying to figure that out. So
yeah, can't wait.
Yeah. Now, do you have anything that we usually do some sort of bit or anything at the end. Do you have something that you want to do, or do you want me to come up with something?
I mean, what do you think? What do you want to do?
Well, you got a whole library of books back there.
Yeah.
I'd love it if you could just reach back and grab a random book and then pull it out and then just start reading one for.
Yeah.
Just a random book.
Let me go over to one of the side shelves over here. This is a good one.
Oh yeah, that looks like that's a big book.
It is. It's one of the bigger ones, but it's large print for old people. So it's.
Now, as you can see too, the title of it. Okay, I usually like to play along with the audience, but my chat isn't working right now. Maybe Natalie can help us out. If the audience can read what the title of that book is, can you hold the book up so the audience can read?
Yeah. There you go.
Audience, can one of the audience members tell us what that book is called? And Natalie, if you can tell us what the first person says, so we know what this book is called that Timmy's about to read from. We did get a chat in this group if we want to go with that.
Ooh.
Go for it. What do you got, Natalie?
I've got. Ooh, coffee and crackers. Oh, man, I've only gotten halfway through this, but it's pretty good. Coffee and Crackers, written by Mortice Johnson. Everybody know Mortice. Actually, this is just it's not really a novel as much as it is a log of surveillance video footage at a coffee shop called Coffee and Crackers. I don't know why they published it, but I miss it's nouveau art. So they start with October 1st, 2014. Jerry walked in. Jerry was wearing a blue suede coat, and you could tell Jerry was sweating hard. He ran here. We see him run all the time to get his pastries. He really loves the blueberry muffins we make, but today Jerry was having none of it. He threw his money across the counter and said that there were too many blueberries in his last muffin. Into which we said, "Aren't you just doing a scene from Casino?" And then he walked out briskly. They wrote. That's the first chapter.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
I definitely want to finish reading that book someday.
You should. Jerry is a figure. He's a real figure in this book. He becomes kind of the antagonist, but then he becomes the protagonist. Yeah.
Okay, great.
There you go. Anything else this is a lending library, so anybody can stop by my basement anytime you want and throw the book over there. Yeah.
Great. No, I think that's a really good one. Thank you very much for being on the show, Timmy.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and have a great day, everyone out there in Omaha. Stay safe. Don't go driving.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Right.
Have a good one. Excellent. So that was Timmy. Again, now here in Omaha, especially once we open, you'll hopefully be seeing him at the Backline. Again, make sure to keep an eye out for his sketch class on our website, backlinecomedy.com. Natalie, it looks like I'm just starting to get chats up. So if you're chatting, I'll be able to chat along with you. Annalisa said, awesome book reading, which I agree. Natalie, do you want to go ahead and introduce the next caller?
Indeed. Our next caller is Rodney Conyers Jr. calling in from Omaha. Rodney is a comedian, a writer of too many things, and a cultural commentator featured on an endless list of things: NXNE, CBC, Prime Video Canada, AT&T, Red Bull. Dude had to hit etc. because there's just too many. Rodney, why don't you get on up here?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Natalie, Dylan, it's been way too long. What is up, homies?
How you doing?
Man, I am just big chilling, figuratively and literally. Just doing my best during this pandemic to, of course, stay healthy and I guess now stay warm.
That's great. Do you have that light setup that you got going every morning, or did you turn that on for this stream?
I usually have it on when I stream, and since it's really cloudy, the light shows up a little bit better, but typically it's not on in the morning time though. Okay. That was a good eye. I didn't realize that you and Natalie were so big into computer production, and now that I know, we're going to share some nerd tech.
Just it's very interesting. We got Wolverine and then the red satin bed sheets.
Yeah, my room was inspired by the Imaginarium. Yeah, that's where this room came from, downtown. So it's just a bunch of behind me, I got Pokemon cards on the wall and weird art, and just got to keep the inspiration surrounding me, because the pandemic, it can make you go crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you shop at the Imaginarium?
I do.
If you haven't been there, it's like a thrift store, but very eclectic thrift store. It's very weird shit there. It's very fun. Now, I know Rodney most through karaoke, which is my own little side hobby I've got going on. But we also have another connection through Kerfuffle with Ashley, who used to be here at the Backline as well. So you do plenty of theater, and acting is kind of more of a bigger deal for you, right? That's more.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Yeah.
It was funny is, I met Ashley actually teaching. So I was teaching after school at Morton Middle School, and she was coming up there through the Union for Contemporary Art / I believe maybe the Rose Theater. I can't quite remember, but she comes up to me And she approaches me kind of like the Oracle from the Matrix. She's just kind of like, I know you want to act, don't you? And I'm like, I kind of, I mean, a little bit, what did you have in mind? But I didn't know that she shared an office space with my aunt, and my aunt told her everything pretty much about me. So she approached me kind of like Nick Fury. And I was like, yeah, I definitely want to join the team. And then, of course, fast forward to karaoke, you and I are, singing and rapping. You're doing your Notorious B.I.G. thing, which I love a lot, by the way. And you're like, yeah, I know Ashley too. I'm like, huh. I said, Ashley is just kind of this big old piece of connective tissue. She just knows everybody.
Hey, since you mentioned BIG, I got to share this scenario. Once we're at a bar, and when it gets to a song like BIG's Juicy, I might typically say the word fella, and you were standing right next to me, and I hand the mic to you, and you say a word that I'm not going to say, and then all your friends look over and they think I said it.
Oh God, I remember that. Yeah. And we were like in a different, we had some drinks too, because I think that was right after the opening night of Aguela Enchanted, at the Row. So they were all like a little lit, and I'm like, yo, chill. Dylan's with me. He's available to come to the cookouts. He's good in the hood. Just relax, everybody. Trust me.
That's probably the only time I'm ever going to hand the mic off for a word.
Hey, I hear you. And trust me, I certainly appreciate it, because, like our karaoke days, some people won't be so nice to, censor themselves. They might just say it anyway.
Right. Oh, man. So you've traveled a bit, but you're in Omaha have you been in Omaha throughout this pandemic?
Yeah. So when the pandemic started in March, I was actually coming back from Australia, like literally the week everything shut down, and I've been home pretty much since then. In September, I actually went out to New Jersey / New York. I took the Freestyle Love Supreme Academy class. So of course the class was still all remote online, but sometimes they would pop up in the city and kind of do things like on the corner, and like they'll rap and that type of stuff. And for those of us, in the chat that don't know, Freestyle Love Supreme is the hip hop improv class that Lin-Manuel Miranda and his buddies put together years and years before, In the Heights and 21 Chump Street and all that stuff. Like, that's what they did. And I was like, all right, I know we're in a pandemic, but hell, I could be dead tomorrow. Let me just go take this class and see what happens. And so I went out there, and I stayed a month and a half, not just to get the full experience of New York and New Jersey, but also, the quarantine, days. If I'm out there, I definitely want to be there at least longer than 15 days. That way, if I get sick, I know not to come back home for a while. So, but it was a ton of fun.
That's awesome. Do you have anything coming up? I don't know if you're doing any online shows or anything like that you want to let people know about.
So right now, I mean, I do a podcast as well, which is, I feel like something that you and I and Natalie, of course, we all need to chit chat about, because you're talking about your chat, and I want to know what type of computers you guys use and everything. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. Because I can nerd out forever, but not really right now. Just kind of the podcast. I have a side project where I host sneaker conventions and that type of stuff. People who are very big into collecting certain types of rare footwear. I used to host those types of events at the Ralston Arena. So kind of working with them in accordance to like the COVID, numbers and all that type of stuff. So if the world is open back up comfortably in like September, I'll host. But if not, I'll just wait till 2022 and so on and so forth. But really just staying home, writing, with a couple buddies of mine, working on projects, a lot of piano shit. Definitely had to sharpen up on those skills, since there's no excuse now. I'm not traveling. But other than that, just staying out the way, man.
When you're looking for sneakers, do you call it soul searching?
You know what? That's not the first time I've gotten that question, but you know what? Yes, technically, yes, because the actual, physicality of the shoe, but also I do think that every pair of sneakers tells a story on where a person has been or what they've been through. So, I mean, there is some like really strong parallels there. So maybe, I don't know, you and I might have to maybe we'll do like a sneaker podcast or a sneaker stand-up bit or something. We'll call it soul searching. We'll try to make it funny or something.
Great. I got some old Adidas Samoas on right now. So.
Hey, I like Samoas. That's Freddie Mercury used to wear a lot of those back in the day. So, and I'm a huge Freddie Mercury fan. So you got good taste.
So now, did you have something that you wanted to end on, like some sort of bit? I got a boo Dylan for selling my soul searching pun. 'Cause I got an idea if you don't, but I don't.
Okay, what's your idea?
Well, okay, so I've heard you sing tracks from Hamilton, which I finally watched on Disney, whatever it's called, Plus. I finally watched it a couple weeks ago, and you did a great job. And so I thought it'd be fun to hear you sing a new unreleased track from a different musical about a different president.
Oh, okay. Let's.
I know you don't do a lot of improv. You think you could do that?
Something on the fly? Sure. Let me see. Let me grab. I got my piano with me. Let me see what we can do.
Great. While you're doing that, if someone could say, tell us what president this musical's about. Ideally, someone that we might know a bit about. I don't know how much you know about all the different presidents, so maybe a more popular one, if possible. Go ahead and type that into the chat. Which president we're going to hear about?
Pick a prez. Any prez. Pick a prez. We'll do a freestyle. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do a freestyle. Give me a. Oh God, my history teachers are probably somewhere watching. They're just cringing. Like, did he pay attention in class?
Okay, great. We got Theodore Roosevelt. Oh, right. Oh, I also missed Jimmy Carter. Sorry, we got double Jimmy Carters on the chat.
Woodrow Wilson.
I'll let you pick.
God.
Any of them that you know anything about, we'll let you go with that.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know anything of. Well, wait, Theodore Roosevelt. His legs worked, right? Was he the one with the bad legs?
No, that's FDR. That's a different Roosevelt.
God damn it. Lincoln, FDR. You know what? I'm just gonna do. Let's do Thomas Jefferson if that's okay.
Sure. Was that one said at all, or are you just picking?
Yeah, I'm just picking because I took African American studies in high school. His family does they do a family reunion every year, but they don't invite the Sally Hemings half of the family. Yeah, so that's when I first found out about like the bullshit shit that some of these presidents were in on. But anyway, so let's see here. All right, yo. So damn, I wish I had a beat, but I guess we don't. All right, listen up. I'm about to tell you about this man who owned slaves, Thomas Jefferson. Yo, this man's not brave. I'm coming off the top with it. He had the people in the fields picking the cotton with it. And yo, I hate it. But in the play, he had luscious locks. But when I see pictures of him, man, I think not. Yo, his skin wasn't brown and it wasn't all clean. And his history record, man, is not pristine. This man was nice on stage with the dance moves. But in person, man, that man doesn't get me in my groove. Thomas Jefferson, yo, he did what he had to do for this country. But I think it's kind of funny. Yo, history is kind of blurred. When I look at his track record, man, I smell nothing but turds. Coming off the top, yo, here's all my words. I'm coming off the brain and you know it's insane. And yo, I'm about to bring it back, yo. I'll keep it plain. Don't want to get too crazy with the back line because these guys always giving my time to shine. I be on stage, yo, with the rage, yo. It's all love. Me and Dylan on the same page, yo. I seen my homie in the chat with the nerdology. That's cool. I got my earrings from anthropology. Our hot topic. I'm on the mic, man. Presidents were the topic. I'm hot like the tropics. About to pick it up, yo. I'm never gonna stop it, yo. Rich watch with the wristwatch with it. What time is it, yo? Thomas Jefferson, as a president, I don't want to visit. If I had a time machine, I have to be nice, man. I have to be pristine. I have to hit him up and be like, yo, what's up with the slaves? Let these people go. These people, yo, they're brave. These are my people. You looking like sheeple. Coming through, staring at Thomas Jefferson from the people. Looking for the right time to go for the snipe with it. I'm coming off the top of Wesley Snipes with it. Getting black on him, getting extra mean. Backline comedy, yo, that's my fucking team. All right, y'all. I had to come through with the bars for the one time.
Hell yeah. Great. Very much. Thank you for joining us and killing it there, Rodney. Really appreciate it. I'll see you around. Hopefully we'll be doing karaoke again soon.
Yes, most certainly. We need to, you and I should work on some rap bits too. I think there's a lot of rap duo songs that you and I think we both know.
Probably. I'd definitely be down for that.
Most
Have
definitely.
a good day.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right. So that was Rodney. Make sure to check out his podcast. And we have our next caller, Natalie, if you want to introduce.
Yes. Oh, sorry. I was kind of blown away by that. That was great. Our next caller is Eric Napalm. Like your knee and palm. That's the pronunciation. Should have read that bit first. Anyway, calling in from Portland, Oregon, an international educator, performer, director, producer, and facilitator, artistic director of Infinite Improv, and longtime science communicator. A lot of ers. Currently can be seen virtually in Babe Improv's I Love Musicals. Hey, Eric, get on in here.
Thanks so much. I love it. Yeah, knee and palm. That was a that was perfect. You did wonderfully.
Great. How you doing, Eric?
I'm great. It is early in the morning here on the west coast of the U.S.
Because it's 8:30 there, right?
Yeah. It's 8:30 in the morning on a Friday, which is not a big deal generally, but I don't know. It's it's 2021. It feels like things are moving slower than usual.
Sure. Well, you've got all those. What are those fireflies behind you? That.
Well, yeah, Rob he was talking about you got all the cool lights and effects, and I figured, there's a library. I might as well add a little extra oomph to my pizzazz. It's kind of distracting. I'll move back to something more.
No. It's great.
That's the best part. That's the best part about doing virtual improv or doing virtual shows is you've got some ability if you do it right with some really fun backdrops to play with. So,
yeah, I just heard yesterday from someone who doesn't even do improv really. I believe they don't, but they were asking if I knew of people who have this show that they do VR improv, and I don't really understand the concept much, but like. Basically, they can create their own reality.
Yeah.
They're doing their show. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've got a few colleagues and friends who've done stand-up virtually for a long time in VR. And then, of course, with the pandemic, people have moved into that world as well,
Weird.
Improvisationally, theatrically. I personally haven't experienced the VR part of it, but I have seen it. It's different. It is very different, but I think something that's kind of cool... I'm in my little costume closet here converted into a recording studio. I have costumes and props and all that fun stuff around me, which for a lot of the shows I do is really effectual. One of the shows we do, we're constantly changing our backdrops to fit the show, the Babe show that was mentioned, is an I Love Lucy improvised musical. So we're very TV looking. So we want to make sure our backdrops fit the look. That's cool. In VR, you can change. I mean, you could be an animal easily without any problems. And I think there's something really cool about literally changing your actual appearance. There's something about being on a stage, making that change for your audience's brain, but to do it visually as well, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it's really fun. I was like, that's what I've probably been wanting to do this whole time I've been improvising.
It's a definite bonus, right? I could do this and be a bunny all day long. But if I visually look like a bunny, and for some reason there's a wolf over in the corner watching me, fantastic, right?
Now, you're up in Portland. How's Portland doing during all this?
Pretty good. I shouldn't say pretty good. I mean, we had an international noticed riot and protest and violence. Overall, though, I think we're doing well. We are Portland after all. I'm wearing the flannel, the sexy lumberjack look.
That's your uniform that you have to wear, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a required look, no matter what. But I think it's Portland. We're very open to that stuff. That I think there's a lot of media attention around. We were inciting a lot of violence, and though there was violent acts happening, I don't think it was as violent as it necessarily appeared all the time. It definitely was violent and such. But yeah, there were, I think in general, with everything going on in the area, I've been teaching this improv stuff for literal decades. And one of the big things is that flexibility, that ability to be up for anything and be changeable. And this year is kind of one of those things that's proved how vitally important it is to be adaptable. And so I think Portland as a whole is just a great example of that. But so are all places all over the planet. with all this this craziness.
So you probably got started elsewhere and then moved back to Portland. Are you from Portland originally?
I am from Portland originally. I'm actually I left as a marine biologist. Theater was always the hobby for me. It was one of those things I did professionally in film and television on stage, but it was pure hobby. My goal was education. Well, my goal was scientist, then became an educator with it. And yeah, I mainly Oregon. I left, went to Hawaii, to Alaska, came back to Oregon, and then traveled the planet. And yeah, that part's been incredibly enjoyable as well. But there's something really lovely about Oregon. It's hard to leave. We have a lot of really great weather.
It's one of the few states on the western side of the Mississippi that I haven't visited, but I really want to go.
Well, improv wise, it's a sneaker hub. You've got the big you people think Chicago, New York, L.A. These are the main locations of improvisational theaters and schools. Portland's bigger than some and on par with some. We had 9 dedicated theaters to improv until semi recently. It's dwindled down to about 6, I think, right now, maybe even 5 with the recent COVID stuff. But if you want to do improv and you want to do a different style and you want to get some really cool experience in different ways, Portland's a ridiculously large population of the improv community.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea you had that. I thought you had like 3 or 4. I didn't realize you had 9 to 6.
Yeah, I'm part of an organization called the Applied Improv Network, which is a global, basically people who take improv and use it in a non-performance sense. So corporate training, facilitation, educators, medical work, psychology, all that fun stuff. And back when I joined, almost 15, 16 years ago now, I guess, there were like 70 of us. And we had 5 people from Portland, which not a huge amount. But then flash forward to about 7 years later, and I would say maybe about 15 to 20% of the conferences that we would have, which of course, we were 70 then. Now we're at 7,000, 8,000 people in the organization all over the planet. But at the time of the convention, we were about 20% of the people that would show up on a regular basis, which is weird because it's Portland. You don't think that's the people you'd expect to find.
So do you still do marine biology stuff, or have you switched to just comedy?
No, I'm primarily an educator. So I teach science and theater. Very rarely do I get to combine the two, but every so often I do. It's fun.
Science is where I thought I was originally going to go until I was like a junior in high school, and I said I'd rather be a movie star.
Well, if it helps, so I went to school in Hawaii because Oregon, California, Texas, Washington, Hawaii. Where am I going to go? But I went there for marine biology, and at the time there was a certain television series that we basically skipped school and was seen on the beach. And someone came up and said, "Hey, you want to be on a TV show?" Which is sort of pre their union, and we're like, "Yeah, of course we do." So my film and television career actually started because I was skipping class from my marine biology programming. It was a writing class, I think, that I was skipping, if I remember right. But the show was incredibly embarrassing, but it was it was a fun experience, to say the least.
That's right. We have a couple people from Portland. In our senior, only one of them did improv in Portland, but it'd be fun to. I know during this pandemic, I've met a couple people through like some Zoom shows, but it'd be nice to kind of like cross paths a little more as we go through the future. Now, do you have anything coming up that you want to plug?
Gosh. Like I mentioned, we're regularly doing this Babe show, which is Babe Improv, which is 4 people whose initials are BABE, E being Eric.
It's not
Right now,
about it's not about the Babe Pig in the City.
no, not Babe Pig in the City. Though, it could be. Who knows? Right now, that show is doing a monthly show on the first Friday at Babe Improv. We've been doing an I Love Lucy based show for a few years now, and virtually it works really well because it's a TV show, right? A 1950s improvised musical sitcom. This works surprisingly well. We can have some really fun, delightful technology associated. Another show that I do regularly, that's close to my heart. I do a Star Trek: The Next Generation improvised musical. This is when we usually would be doing it, and I miss it so much. So I'm going to bring it back in February for a little run called USS Improvise. So USS Improvise at Gmail. Oh no, yeah. USSimprovise.com, I think, is where you can find that, or Funhouse Lounge.
Okay.
I don't know. There's other fun stuff. I'm at Improv Theater. I've been doing this long enough that I have that cool nomenclature.
Yeah.
But the theater is R-E, Theatre, as in the thing we do, not where we do it.
That is so classy.
Thank you, TJ.
Now, do you have anything that you want to do? Any sort of bits or anything?
No, there's nothing that specifically comes to mind. Is there something? I mean, you haven't done anything. You want to do something together?
Yeah, we'll do a scene together, maybe.
Yeah, let's do something together.
Let's see. So you said you do shows like I Love Lucy or Star Trek. What's maybe a show that the two of us might be familiar with that we could improvise?
Yeah, like the style, like in a style of, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get a suggestion from someone of something that we could do.
Favorite type of show.
And ideally, like a fictional show, not a reality TV show.
I don't know. Yeah. So another one of the callers messes with diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Yeah, maybe we might go with that.
Let's get something from our lovely audience instead.
Now, also, I might have lost my chat again. I don't know if it's the weather because we're going through this storm.
Natalie.
But Natalie, you might need to help me on the suggestion. If we got a suggestion, it might not be up for me. Oh.
Ooh. NCIS. Oh
Okay.
yeah, totally.
Great, and you'll find out real quick that I don't watch cop shows. So let's do this.
That's great. That's wonderful. Here, I've got a little coat here, at least to costume it up.
Hey, Detective Lorenzo.
Agent Stevens.
What we've got here is one of the worst crimes I've ever seen in my life.
If it's up to me, I'd be back home at my desk, relaxing, feet up, sitting. You know, all the usual stuff, shoes in the air.
Yeah, too bad it ain't up to you. It's up to the captain. He says we got to solve this crime.
Damn it, Agent. Look at you. Standing over a dead body and talking about how it's up to the captain. You know what the captain did to us.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me take a step away. I don't want to step on the body. So
Right, yeah, all right.
there we go. There we go. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, you and I were so close once. Whatever happened? Whatever happened? You, to me, to this poor chap on the ground. You know, our relationship's gonna be this on the ground right now.
Look, it's not sexual anymore, okay? Detective Lorenzo? It can't be. Not here on this dead body. Don't touch my face.
Sorry,
I've got a body camera on.
Wait. So does our victim.
What?
And it's set to record.
Oh. So it's still recording?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Hey, where
Hi.
you?
Yeah.
Hey, so we can watch it. Let's go ahead and put the tape in.
Hey, wait.
Yeah.
The tape? Yeah, okay. Let me just we pull the. Oh gosh, it's one of those really large VHS tapes too. Wow. Oh.
I've got it. Let's go ahead and put it in my VCR here.
If you want, I've got a really big screen TV in the back of my car.
Does it have a coax connection?
Oh, yeah. Lots of
Okay.
things have coax connections, Agent. Maybe you and I could spend a little time back there, you know? Like old days.
A little coax connection? Is that?
If that's how it works, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm okay searching for the right slot, if that's what it comes down to.
Oh, all right. We'll have to see if it needs any tracking.
I kind of want to rush things, so no fast forwarding today, okay?
Sure, I'll put it on slow motion.
Just frame by frame. You, me, and this dead body just hanging out.
Yeah, frame by frame is a little difficult in a VHS, but we'll figure it out. All right.
Do people even know what those are anymore anyway?
I appreciate that, Eric. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for having me. This is absolutely delightful and a great way to wake up in the morning ridiculously early.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Thanks so much.
All right. That was Eric. So if you've been chatting along, hopefully Natalie can maybe fill me in. I don't know why my internet keeps going down every 5 minutes, but Natalie, you want to hop in and let me know if I missed anything in the chats?
If the last things you saw were, you can tell this is a Navy crime and it really feels like NCIS, then you're caught up.
Great. I didn't, but that's great. We have just one more caller. Do you want to introduce them?
Indeed. So our final caller is TJ Mannix, calling from NYC. He's an actor, improviser, and director, as well as the founder, artistic director of the 12th Annual New York Musical Improv Festival. He tours the world with his one-man improvised musical, Limboland. TJ, come online.
Hello.
Hey, TJ, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm last, so I've been able to go on to 2 cups of coffee to wake myself up for this.
Yeah, that's great. That you finished 2 or you're on your second?
I am on my second, and it's just cool enough for me to start drinking it now.
No, TJ, we met. Did we meet at the festival here? Did I meet you before then? I think we met at the festival here.
Did we meet at a festival in Kansas City?
We might have. I don't remember. I don't remember how we ended up meeting.
Oh, yeah. Well, we definitely met, and we definitely got the
We
chance.
do the gold. What was it? What was it called? No, Goldbergs. No.
Yep, that may have been it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's can we? I don't know if there's enough people watching on here. I don't think there's anyone on here who cares. Pretty much the worst festival ever. It's fine. They don't do them anymore. It's not like we're hurting a brand, are we?
I don't know.
You don't want to shit. It's fine.
I will say, not to comment on the content of its character. No, I have never bonded with so many people so deeply at a festival in my life, because it was a first year festival, and didn't necessarily have a built-in audience or do anything to bring an audience. So very often the performers were the only audience, or there was no audience. So all of the faculty and all of the people who were there, we ended up bonding.
Now, as somebody who runs a festival, like I've messed up and had like a couple of shows with some low turnouts, but I've never had the entire festival never have more than like 4 audience members. And one night, no audience members.
There's no audience members the entire night. Yeah.
But we were all like, well, we got paid to be here, so I guess we'll do some shows.
I just karmically, I feel like I can't, you hate to say anything. I don't want to say anything bad about another festival because I run a festival myself. But it was definitely a learning experience.
Yeah.
So that person who was producing it I'm sure, learned a great deal about producing festivals.
I hope.
See
I
that,
really
that just that positive spin that you can.
I will say though, like that bonding though, for sure. Everyone from there, I can't believe I even forgot for a second that that's where we met. Cause
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like Vietnam veterans meeting at the American Legion to like drink in the dark. Yeah,
we're like, yeah.
we survived that.
Oh man. Yeah. We, like, sure. Like any festival, you get some new friends here and there, but like we were all, I think this is why people in like places where it's cold get along better than like where it's warm. Is because like if you go through tough times with someone, you get a stronger bond with that person. So like us going through that festival made us all instantly like, yeah, we're all together in this.
It made all of us better producers. He said, putting a positive spin on
Yep.
anything that he can.
Yep. We all do.
Yeah, I mean, I may have set up there may have been a Facebook group set up that was like called this is the group for communication that we would have had if anyone communicated with us. And that's still going.
I don't even know if I ended up teaching a workshop or not. I think I did one maybe, but like I know you and maybe Andiel were like the only ones who had anyone in your workshops.
Yeah.
And that was still like maybe 2 or 4 people, maybe like.
Yeah. You know, I have to, you know, it may have been a bit misguided, but I also say, anybody trying to put on a festival, ask your elders, get some advice from elsewhere around the country. Don't try to do it by yourself. Or as Eric Nepalm from Portland has just put into the chat, don't do it.
It's so much.
I will say that in the 3rd year of the New York Musical Improv Festival, we expanded to 6 nights, and I was taken out in an ambulance.
Damn.
Yeah.
What happened?
Just I worked for 6 hours, like 24/7, just like trying to be there for everybody and not taking care of myself. And the early success of the festival, we decided to expand. And then after that, we were like, you know what? Let's just go with 4 days, let it sell out, limit who's going to be there, treat everybody like gold, and not have anyone end up in the hospital. It's a learning experience.
Oh man. Yeah. I go through some things when like it's final week, like I'd say for the last 2 months before the festival, I'm a wreck. But man, they wear you down. I'm having not had one in 2020. It's been kind of nice to have relaxed my brain and not had that stress every year.
Yeah. Well,
but now I'm trying to plan one for 2021, and we're talking about moving it to Labor Day instead of doing the usual Memorial Day.
Yeah.
But even then, like it's going to be a scaled back version this year because who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, we the New York Musical Improv Festival, we were on our 11th year, and after the 10-year anniversary, we decided, my work wife and I, Robin Rothman Taylor, who's the co-producer, we decided to move it from the fall to the spring so we could have a year and a half off to not look at each other. Because after 10 years of planning, our festival, it's the 2 of us and maybe a 3rd producer helping out. Like we foolishly do this entire thing on our own. And we decided to move it to the spring, and we moved it to starting on March 12th. And on March 12th, we had 300 people in New York City for the festival from the UK and from Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto, San Francisco, all over the place. And we, 2 hours before opening night, they shut down Broadway and all theaters.
Oh, so you had everyone there, but you couldn't do the show.
There were people showing up already. Like people were like waiting in line for the standby line, and we had to. Yeah, Eric from Portland knows about this. We suddenly we had all of these people who had flown here who were like, "You sure it's going to happen? You sure it's going to happen?" And we were like, "No, we're following every protocol. Everything's a go." And it was a very different time. And it was early in COVID, in the COVID outbreak. So at the time, we were being logical about it, and we're like, "Yeah, it's going to work. It's going to be fine." And then we had, hundreds of people who had to suddenly get back on a plane like that Friday or Saturday because they were worried about whether their countries or whether the United States would be shut down. So one cool thing that came out of it, a group from Chicago made a bunch of phone calls, and they found the only rehearsal studio that was still open and had one cancellation. They booked a room that fit like 50 people, and 150 people from the festival crammed into that room, which I know now seems like insanity. And now that we know what we know, but we crammed into that room, and every group went up, introduced themselves, said where they were from, did one scene into a song, just so they could say that they performed in New York City. And it was just the best thing. And it was so cool that it happened. And and then we ended up moving it to high price. Then we ended up moving it to we moved it to March, or we moved it to July, and we actually did one of the first virtual festivals once we figured out how to make things happen musically and with Zoom, which automatically cancels one audio.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Have you been doing a lot of musical stuff over Zoom?
I haven't done a ton. Because my show, I do Limbo Land, which is a one-man improvised musical where I use like 4 chairs and I have a band or a music director, and then using the chairs, I improvise characters, and using the chairs help define their physicality and what vocal part they sing, and I end up singing duets and trios with myself. And the logistics of trying to make that work with multiple cameras and it'd be and it's an interesting challenge. We've definitely found workarounds with outside. Like if you use an outside audio track on a different window in your computer and everybody has headphones on, they can all listen to the music, but then only sing into Zoom, and you can only sing one person at a time. I teach musical scene study in a musical theater conservatory in New York City, and trying to have people do duets was impossible.
Yeah.
So, even that, figuring out, okay, we'll record the accompaniment, and then you'll each have to sing your vocal part, and then we're gonna put that together and swap it, and then you'll do the scene, pinning each other's video, and then one person will press play and sing live while the other person lip syncs to their own voice, and then we'll switch and we'll do it the other way around. So it's been a phenomenal logistical and audio challenge to do anything musical online, but we did figure out how to do it for the festival, and every single group, we ended up doing 6 nights with the virtual festival because we gave everybody a full time slot, and everybody had to have a tech rehearsal so they could figure out what they were doing.
Wow. Yeah. That's great though.
Yeah.
Glad that went well. Hey, do you have anything that you want to plug? Anything that you want to have people check out?
The one thing I'm having fun with is breaking down. I record all of the. I've been having a great time with Limbo Land. I was also scheduled in March and April to do a 5-country tour of Europe with Limbo Land, and performing and doing teaching workshops and master classes and that kind of thing. And that took 6 months to plan, and the entire thing got canceled because of COVID. But what I've been doing is going through all of the shows and breaking them down into more digestible chunks. So I have a YouTube and Vimeo channel for Limbo Land that has been You know, rather than forcing people to watch an hour-long show or a 45-minute show, to give them digestible chunks so they can experience it and have a night. Yeah.
That's great. Hey, we're gonna hopefully do something here, but then just to let everyone know who's watching, we ended up getting another caller, so we do have one more
Awesome.
person who's gonna hop in, a former alum of Backline who's now in New York City, and then I believe it was Eric recommended, if you're down to stick around afterwards, maybe we can do a scene together when we're all done here.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
So before you head out right now, though, TJ, do you want to? Do you have something that you want to do?
You know what? I'm totally game for bringing everybody together at the end and doing something. I'd be, you know, I have a 12-minute long monologue that I might like to do. It's very dramatic.
Yeah.
Hold on a
Okay.
second.
Well.
Is that okay? It's about abuse and
Yeah. Gets real bad, huh?
Yeah.
It's called Cringe. So then, do you? I believe it was Eric just said make him rap. Do you? Can you rap?
I am pretty sure that Eric is a terrible person. When I toured with the Second City, I always had to rap because you would look at the cast and go, who's the one person the audience would not expect to rap? And I would always take one for the team. However, I'm saving it for. Sorry, no one in the audience can see that we're being tortured by Eric Nepom from Portland while he's constantly throwing out horrific ideas for something to do during this. I thought I was coming on to do the weather for the morning show. I didn't.
Do you want to do the weather?
I will tell you right now. My green screen is broken, so you just have to imagine that there's a map here. But I will tell you, everybody's going to have to be worried because we have a cold front coming in from North Dakota through South Dakota, eventually making its way down to Omaha. We do expect that due to the amount of snowfall, no one will be able to leave their homes in Omaha for the next several days. Don't worry about that. Just make sure that you tip your Seamless and DoorDash delivery people. I also have I have a monologue that I do as a weather person. It's somebody who's going through a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah. Do you want to do it?
It's okay. Can you guys extend it for about 20 minutes?
Can you sum it up in 1 minute?
Oh, it's about pain and moisture.
Ooh.
So.
Now, if you probably don't want to do this, but if you want to rap about the weather as someone who's going through a divorce,
I'm not a rapper. You're killing me. You're killing me. You expect me to follow what Rod did, which was brilliant, an incredible flow of back rhyming and just overall brilliance. I will say that I might require more than one cup of coffee, and I promise that I will come back after your final guest and I will improvise with everyone. And
okay.
It will be,
all right.
And it will be very, I don't think I've ever used this word. Milk toast? Is that a word? That's a word. Yeah. I think it's going to be super bland, about as bland as my very ruddy Irish skin tone is with this ring light.
Great. Well, thanks for setting it up for the audience. So they
just wait. Stick around. Stick around, everybody. It's going to be good.
Right. Well, we'll see you here in just a second. Then again, TJ, thank you very much. Natalie, you want to introduce our next, our last caller?
Indeed. Our next caller is Price Comstock. I assume from Omaha as a guest caller. I don't really know much about them, but you seem to. So if you'd like to say a little bit to introduce them.
Yeah. So Price, alumni here in the Backline. and moved out to New York City. And let's just get him on. I'm assuming he's still in New York City.
Yes, okay. I said I could not start my video because the host stopped it because I barged in earlier. Yes, I'm still here in New York City. I think my time and Natalie's time in Omaha are like stop and start at the same time, so we just don't really have any overlap. And of course, I haven't been back in forever because of the pandemic. So
yeah, you also have not gotten a haircut all year.
Yes, I've had 2 haircuts in 2020, I think.
Oh, okay.
I got one after like things started opening back up, and I should have grabbed another in like November, but I didn't. So it's just, we'll see when I can get a haircut again. But
that's great. How you been?
I've been good. Yeah, moved out to New York, kind of did improv for a while, and then stopped completely for a year. So.
Was that because of the pandemic, or you stopped before?
Yes, I was halfway through 401 at UCB when things started shutting down. It was like, I definitely have like a visceral feeling of the paranoia of like taking the subway during rush hour to an improv class when it's like, man, everybody has coronavirus now. And just like being packed on those trains when no one really knew what was happening, except that there was no testing, and it definitely was in New York. I think I went to a class on like March 10th or something and was just like, this is crazy. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then... Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
I've just sort of found other things to fill the time besides improv, but I'm very excited for the chance to start doing that again.
Way back when you were still here, we did a few sketches, and we did one about Ben Sass, who's now become kind of a big deal.
Yes.
Someone just last week asked me to find the link to that Ben Sass video.
Do you not have it?
I did. I found it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Yes, my mediocre Ben Sass costume. I couldn't even be bothered to shave my face, but
he did a pretty good Ben Sass impersonation. I think you could revise that at some point.
It was good. He's continued to look like he loves to talk, hates to follow through, you know? But
at least he's one of the few people who is at least not kissing Trump's ass anymore. So
yes.
For whatever that is. I don't want to, I can't stick up for him too much because then I get a bunch of hate messages.
Right. It's like, I'm glad he is talking, but also, you know, you vote with Trump 90% of the time or whatever, and it's like, all right. Okay. Also, his fucking high school graduation speech is like,
oh, at Fremont?
I can't believe, I feel like I wouldn't do something that, just like someone who's a politician, seems like they would be more careful about their image and stuff, but that was just like, how does he decide to get up and say this stuff? Anyways.
Yeah. What was it like that psychology isn't really a degree or whatever?
Yeah, it was just like crammed full of like, how do I sound like an idiot in this speech? And normally it seems like he tries to seem very smart, so I don't know what came over him for that, but
yeah, it was seeming like he was like trying to seem like he's a rural Nebraskan or something. Like, we don't need college.
Yeah. He's like super educated. Yeah. Are we just gonna talk politics the whole time?
Oh, we could. You want to talk about something else?
Maybe. Yeah. You know, New York has been fine. Sitting in my apartment doing nothing has certainly made it less great. I'm like, what's the point of all this? But hopefully things kind of go back to normal here soon.
Yeah. I don't know. I can only imagine that like being in New York during all this has to be real weird, because being in a city where there's not a lot of people, like we've been able to go out a little bit. But
yeah, so we actually brought my car I never sold it after I moved, and then it was just like sitting in my parents' driveway. So last spring, my cousin who I live with drove back and just like brought my car back. So we've had that.
Nice.
I've only gotten like 15 parking tickets, so that's been good. Yeah. So that has made it a little easier. I've taken the train exactly twice since everything shut down. I stayed in Jersey for like 3 months when things were really bad. But yeah, lately.
So you pulled an Andrew Yang? Is that what you did?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my girlfriend's parents have a house in New Jersey but live in Florida, so we just went and stayed at their big house outside of the city for a while.
That's great. I don't know if you knew this, I was a big Yang fan. I just heard yesterday he got shit for leaving New York City during the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, I did it, so whatever, but I'm not running for mayor. I don't know what difference that makes. One less person to clog up the hospitals, right? I don't know.
Now, do you have, you probably don't have a show to plug then?
Absolutely not, no.
Okay. Do you want to do a little something here?
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Since I've done any improv. I guess I've been into Dungeons and Dragons lately, so that's about it.
Oh yeah, I've still never played.
It's a great time. What is there anyone to give us a suggestion?
Yeah, let's. Do you? You used to do well. You don't have any tech stuff set up right now. You used to do a lot of the kind of stuff that was. What were the PowerPoint things like that?
Yeah. You wanna? I was actually thinking that before I joined, and then totally forgot. I do have that ready to go. Actually, it is live on the
you
internet.
Can like share screen or something.
Yeah.
Natalie, does he have the option to share screen? Okay.
Okay. I will. Oh, actually, I can't make it a specific topic, I guess. I thought I added that feature, but
that's fine. Fit in Praline however you can.
Okay. That will be my name. Yeah. Okay, let me, I guess, share my whole. I'm like on a lunch break right now, by the way. So.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I mean, I guess I'm just fully sort of working, but okay, here we go. Okay. All right. So my name is this showing up and everything?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Hi, so my name is Praline Johnson. I'm here to give a talk on Heloise's Beauty Hints, which is a YouTube series that I ran from 2014 to 2016. Yeah. So my qualifications, I was actually competitive in the minor league butterfly stroke. Really fucking disorderly right now, but who isn't, you know? Things have been tough lately. I've also been called Lord Lieutenant Dame South America, an honorary title. You know, if you put enough beauty tips out there, people start to talk. And I grew up in Victorville, California. Shout out to my hometown. So yeah, I'm big on trends, being into beauty tips. I like to structure beauty around the face of fear. You know, you want to look so beautiful that it strikes fear into people. So obviously, I have a line of makeup. It's Spanish for rich port. Puerto Rico is my line of makeup. Some people said I shouldn't name it that, but it just sounds good. So that to me is enough justification to ignore any sort of, racial or cultural appropriation accusations. But, that's, some people don't agree with that. So I follow trends. You could see in 1994, makeup really peaked, but it's never really gone away. Okay, so this guy, his nickname is The Pit. This is part of my unconventional makeup series. I actually started doing makeup for MLB pitchers. The Pit, he was my first and bravest client. There's a lot of mind games that go into baseball, and I thought that was a great opportunity to expand makeup. We talked about themes of gravity and HTML and stuff for really applying makeup to these pitchers and trying to change the game. People say we haven't changed the game yet, but I think there's a revolution coming in baseball. You had stats are big. They'll find it. They'll find the correlation to winning. Okay. This part is always awkward. But yes, as you know, my YouTube channel got shut down because I applied various makeups to penises, to cock and balls. I just thought that I am a visionary and look for opportunities where makeup and beauty can really help. And I see schlongs all the time, and I thought, this is it. This is the next frontier. YouTube doesn't like that. So, we have Patreon only feed now. Yes. So, the best and worst thing about getting older is obviously that you need more makeup, but makeup starts to look worse because there's just more wrinkles on your dick. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. People know. Okay, so I think I can bring it back. I know I've had some setbacks, getting banned and all that, but if we pontificate, assess improvements, we capitalize supply chains, I think things will come back and we can have a great comeback for my makeup line. That's it.
All right.
This is a beach.
Awesome. Thanks, Price. You did a great job. You're the first person to ever call in to the show. Thank you.
Thanks. Just trying my best not to do my job right now. So
I don't know if you have time to stick around, but we're going to do one scene real quick. So if you want, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, let's get everyone back who wants to hop in here for one final scene that we might do here.
Well, hi.
And then we have, what do we want to do? Does anyone have anything that they want to specifically do?
I'd like to know what neighborhood in New York Price is in.
I am in Bushwick.
You're in Bushwick, yeah.
The Morgan L stop and the Myrtle Broadway JM stop. God, I had to fucking think about that for a second.
I love you giving out. Yeah, and what's your social security number?
Well, that's like in LA. You're saying you take the 401. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in Gramercy, very far away from any trains.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah. That mythical Second Avenue Q train would go right by my apartment, but it's never going to happen. Sorry. Okay, we're done with our New York summer. Oh yeah. I've been biking more lately.
All improvised.
I got a bike this summer. Sick. I love biking around, almost getting killed all the time.
Well, now there's amazing like bike paths everywhere in New York City.
It's still like you got to be on your fucking A game though.
Yeah.
People are trying to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then if you stop, they'll cough on you.
Yeah.
All right. So does besides talking about New York, which only two of us can really do here,
We could talk to Timmy about AMDA.
Trust me, everyone. If there's one thing I've learned, it's
to.
that people love talking about New York, especially if they don't live here.
The opposite is in LA. People love about talking about how much they hate LA, and yet they still want to live there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do the mandatory Pilates.
right.
Can we do something very female centric? I think that would be appropriate.
Yeah, I think it would be really good.
We'll do a scene from Sex in the City.
Which is also coming back, supposedly.
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Let's do.
Yeah, they are the parents of girls.
Yeah.
I kind of liked the whole show aspect. Let's get a whole brand new show,
Okay.
and we'll do. We can kind of come in and out as we maybe need to by turning on and off our cameras here. What's a show? Let's get a suggestion for one final thing here. What's a show that the six of us are gonna do a scene or two from here? Go ahead and type that in. I might be able to see it. Otherwise, Natalie might need to help me out here. Some sort of show that a real show that we will be improvising on the spot here.
So like a style of a show
Sure. Yep.
thing. Yeah. Is there a show, Natalie, you haven't said much. Is there a show that you like that you watch on a regular basis right now? No? 90210.
Okay, great. I never watched it, but I think I understand.
Oh yeah, a little Beverly Hills late teen drama.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like 13 Reasons Why. It's exactly like that.
Which I also didn't watch. All right, we got this. This is the remake of Beverly Hills 90210.
Do 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 do.
Jem, there's like no way that we'll be able to study for the test in time. Like, it's really difficult, and I've been studying all night long, and all I heard was you guys partying non-stop.
We were partying because we knew you couldn't come.
Gosh, it's so hard being the, like, really nerdy one.
Yeah, that's
I'm
because
just
you're
so
wearing
ugly.
You're wearing the glasses.
Well, yeah, I need them to see, Jim. I just want to go to one party this year. Like, one party that would make me feel special and with somebody special, you know?
Sure. Well, if your dad wasn't Aaron Spelling, maybe we'd invite you.
You leave my dad out of this. You leave him out of this.
Go cry in your Bentley, okay? Anyways, I'm off to go drink.
No.
What?
Don't leave. It's me, Bradley. I'm in the house.
What's up, Bradley?
I just want to let you know that I'm having a big non-drinking party, glasses only, right now. Starts right now, next door at the Peach Pit. And,
Bradley, you're so dreamy.
I know. It's in my Facebook profile description. Dreamy. Spelled with 2 E's and a Z.
Dreamy
what's
with
up?
a Z?
Yeah.
Where do you put the Z? Okay.
Put it in the middle. This guy. Oh, come on. Right? This guy doesn't know where the Z goes. Well,
Like,
hey.
I really want to come to like the party, but the alcohol that's there or not there better be vegan, because I was in the cafeteria the other day and this jock jerk told me to stop eating his food's food. Like, what? Like, can you believe that?
Yeah, and I'll stand by that too, okay? I don't like you calling me a jock jerk, all right? I'm pretty smart. I figured out how to distill alcohol from animal fat, okay? I've managed to make non-vegan alcohol, and I think it's gonna go places.
Hey, Jake Jack, you are a jock jerk.
Hey,
Whoa, everyone stop fighting. No.
let me get him.
Oh, you are what you eat. Jamaican jerk. Can you believe it?
I see your back, Tori.
Jim, I didn't see you there. Gosh. You hurt my feelings. I ran away. I totally thought I ran completely away from you into a new scene, but I'll stay here with you for a minute, Jim, because you're an ass. You were
It's
mean
fine.
and
Let's
cruel.
move on to the next day.
Well, fuck you, Jim.
Next day.
Tori, as one of the few adults in this town, I feel like it's important that you tell me why you're crying all the time.
Gee, Mr. Stevens, you as the only young but not too young eligible bachelor adult in this town, taking notice to a young attractive woman like me makes me think I feel special for a moment.
I am a recent graduate of the University of California.
But you're so snazzy dressed.
I know, it's because I'm stylish, but I'm just old enough. Look, there's one gray hair. I'm just old enough that I have authority in this town. I'm the eldest person in all of California town.
Could I ask you a question as an elder?
Sure, Tori. That's the only way you could possibly talk to me because
Can I
I'm
ask-
so incredibly old and wise.
Can I ask you a question as a friend?
Tori, what does it say behind my desk in the guidance counselor's office? It
You
says,
can ask me anything as a friend or as an adult, and wise one at that.
yeah, that's why it's a tall and very thin sign.
It's just
You can tell me.
It's just I feel so different, and I don't know how to change to be different.
Hey, Tori, your
Yeah.
body's going through changes, and you know
Yeah.
what? That's okay. You don't have to hide it with a textbook that we know you're not reading.
But it's about Pablo Picasso.
Right. Hey, I'm not responsible for the curriculum. I'm just responsible for all of your feelings. Tori. Wow.
Yeah?
I feel incredibly uncomfortable all of a sudden. I'm glad I'm behind a desk.
Cut to the party, the final scene, the party with no alcohol.
What's up, guys? Come on in. Got orange juice and lemonade over here. I got some Sunny D in the fridge. There's lots of vegan pancakes. Yo, bro.
Vegan pancakes, that's like my fucking favorite. How did you know?
Listen, I don't want to say anything, but I snuck into your house a couple weeks ago and stole your diary, and I read it all because I'm kind of obsessed with you.
Oh, obsessed with me? That's so crazy because like this whole time, like all 3 episodes of the series, I've been obsessed with you.
What?
Hey, I want to say I ended up coming to this party anyways, even though you don't have alcohol. And I brought the teacher with me.
Oh, no. You brought a
And
teacher
he-
with you?
Yeah, but
That's
he's
no
cool.
teacher. He's a cool dad. What's up, man?
Hey, just because I'm almost your age doesn't mean that I can't actually be your parent.
You know
Oh,
what would make you
man.
fit in?
What?
If you wrapped the weather.
You know?
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Did somebody say wrap the weather? That's all I've ever
Wrap
wanted
the
to hear.
weather. Wrap
Sure.
the weather.
You should totally rap, like for
Look.
real.
It's what I did when I was in the Mr. California competition, and I won. Can you see the sash I carry around? It
We
says,
can all,
Suddenly,
we can all see
all
it.
the
It
noise
says,
dies away because Tori's entered the room and the C parts for Tori because she's
Nice
different.
tiara.
She doesn't have glasses anymore. She's beautiful.
Oh my God, there's like something different about her. I can't put
Tori,
my
what did
finger
you
on it.
do?
But what is it?
Oh, hi, fellas.
Tori, you look like
Hello.
ravishing. Like you look like you could be a model.
Oh,
Did she get taller?
Did you wear makeup?
no, exactly the same. The only difference is I took my glasses off.
Wow. She really
Wow.
is all that.
Hey, you guys want
let's
to do
call
it?
Okay. This is fun. This is the first time we've done a group thing at the end. That's fun.
New tradition.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thank you all for joining me on this weird morning show that we do here. Thank you all for everyone who's watched this. So,
Super fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's now afternoon, so
well, there, yeah.
Over here in Eastern time.
Oh, other
Great.
ghost.
Well, thank you all. Hopefully,
Thanks so
I'll see
much.
you all around.